Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. They are a scammer. Do not be scammed. I will not be soliciting you for anything. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Bear with me, these cards are very thick. They're beautiful too. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay. Hold on 1 minute. While I get this card that has fallen. All right. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Let's see the chakra energy for this time. Virgo, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Fantastic. The spirit guide message for this time. Virgo, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. All right. are going to leave everything that just fell to be gotten to later. Virgo, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. What is the energy that Virgo needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Virgo needs to be mindful of? April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. All right. So we're starting with this, with the chakra energy. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above the crown. Then we have imagination, which is the spirit guide message. And the energy we need to be mindful of is the Princess of Pentacles. Now the left-hand side is the inner self, the middle is the heart, the right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see. We have the Sun. We have the Two of Cups, the Lovers, oh, this is beautiful, and the Ten of Wands. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, time frame June 21st to July 22nd. The Tower, the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. You might be seeing something very intense happening, okay, around a Cancer and a Taurus during this time. A sense of betrayal. It seems like it cuts both ways, so just be mindful. Interesting. The Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Temperance. The Eight of Wands and the High Priestess. Okay. The heart causes some trouble. I just keep on coming back to it. It's so interesting because we have soul's healing here with the chakra energy. And there's a sense that we're healing from something. It's like we have so much love coming forward, but there's a heavy burden that we're carrying. And it's like, can I find what I love, what I want? Even though at times I think I have, like, I think I'm shining as brightly as the sun. And there's this beautiful balance that needs to come in. And it can be that things have had to have fallen apart in order for it to be rebuilt, you know, stronger and better than it was before. But there's a sense of this healing. There's a sense of kind of being pushed out of our comfort zone, our hearts seeing things in a very different way than it has seen things before. It's like, imagine the possibilities. Let the mind start seeking out, becoming, you know, identifying, different ways forward, different ideas, different things that we want, different heart's truths, different beauty coming forward. And what we have to be mindful of is the Princess of Pentacles, somebody who's very manipulative around money, somebody who acts like a princess, like I want. And it's time to kind of like step back and say, okay, that's great, you can want that. But because we're earth sign energy, we're going to feel, and we're dealing with earth sign energy here, a lot of what they're saying is going to make a lot of sense. We're going to be like, yeah, well, that makes sense. Oh, that's reasonable. But it's not going to be reasonable. And it's not going to inevitably make the sense that we think it should, okay, or that we initially thought it should. It's like we're explaining things away. But here, this is somebody who's just going to kind of be like gathering up wealth, hoarding it to them and saying, well, you just have to work harder. You just have to, you know, do this. You just have to do that. You just have to go after this. And it's kind of like, well, how hard exactly do you expect me to work? I'm already giving it all. And we can see that. And that's one of the reasons why this person is targeting you, because we have the sun shining bright, right? We have this beautiful sun, which is, you know, the exquisiteness within the tarot. The sun is the happiest card in the whole entire tarot deck. And this is a sense of prosperity and abundance and brilliance and seeing things differently and just letting joy come in. It's like life gets haloed just a little bit, like everything just looks a little bit more grand, a little bit more beautiful. And we're really drawn to this. But when we have this energy come forward, people want to take us by eyes. People want us to fall and to fail and to not be able to move forward the way that we want to. And the sun really comes in around love. The Two of Cups, the Lover's card, this can be around Gemini energy, time frame, May 21st to June 20th, but this is also a sense around just uniting, just being together, just feeling like there's more to my life than there was before. And there's a real sense of love and of beauty and of hopes and of dreams and of joys coming forward during this time. The Two of Cups is healing. The Two of Cups is unity. The Two of Cups is what we've longed for coming in. And there is a sense of, yes, we can be falling in love. And during this time, we can absolutely be falling in love. But there is a past relationship that will rear its head and make us think, oh my gosh, am I heading down the same path? Am I going to be betrayed? Are things going to fall apart? We start over-analyzing everything. And it's saying here, just unite, just connect, just see what happens. And instead of what we usually do in relationships is that we take our ideas and ideals, right? And we say, this is my perfect person. And when that person that we're falling in love with or that we're in love with checks the boxes of our perfect person, we get all happy. But when they don't, we get really upset and feel discouraged and think, oh my gosh, did I make a mistake? And if we're united with this person, if we're married or if we're in a committed relationship, we have to know that the unity that we're embracing here and the love that we're embracing is not going to be our ideal all the time. But it's this beautiful give and take. There's also this sense of creativity around us. So it doesn't mean that we have to be in a relationship at all. It can very well mean that we start to fall in love with the creative energy that's coming our way, with the different ways that we're seeing things, with the inspiration that guides us forward, with, greater insights, greater ideas, greater senses. And it leads us to the lovers. It leads us to, again, either strengthening that romantic relationship, but also to seeing that there's duality and unity within the world. The lovers, Gemini energy, always makes us have to step back and look at the Taoist statement that this and that are true, that there are multiple ways of seeing things, that there are different valid points, and we can't just get stuck on the one that we want to see ourselves. And so there's this beautiful understanding of love and of harmony and of looking at the world, and instead of saying them versus us type of deal, which our world seems to be so into right now, it's saying, okay, well, what's the validity here? Or what's the reason behind this? And what's the history to this? And what is it that I desire? And what is it that that person desires? And how are we moving forward? It doesn't mean that we excuse other people's actions, of course, like if they're being abhorrent, but it does mean that we start to see the harmony in the world again. And we start to focus on the love. And we realize that, yes, we as human beings, we seek out hate more than we seek out love. Why? We seek out to remember the hate. Because that's how we protect ourselves. It's like, well, don't do that. That's terrifying. We're very social creatures. We need the love, the acceptance, the compassion. That's very important to us. And when we embrace the lovers here, it's saying it's time to embrace the love and not look at the hate and say, well, I have to change that. Let people be who they are in their journey right now. And let them develop as they may. Let them see what they need to see within themselves. And know that our journey right now is to bring love just a little bit closer to the world, a little bit more connected with our existence and ourselves, and start focusing on either being in love, raising that energy vibration, letting love move us forward, or to really embracing falling in love with our lives. It brings us to the Ten of Wands. With all this love coming forward, all this happiness shining down, the Ten of Wands says we're carrying too much, and we can feel it. It's like, I don't want to carry this anymore. This doubt, these fears, these other people's burdens, these other people's chaoses. It's like, you have to carry your own load. And we may very well find ourselves saying that to certain people. It's like, I can't do that. Maybe not, you have to carry your own load. I can't carry it anymore. Because that can be weird for a person to understand. Or it can seem rather competitive. But just saying, you know what? I know you can handle this. I know you can find a way forward. And stepping back and letting them discover it. It's kind of like telling the little kid all the time, oh, that's hot, don't touch it. That's hot, don't touch it. But they touch the hot water just very quickly. And then they realize, oh my gosh, that's hot. I understand what hot is. I'm not going to touch it anymore. So letting the person carry their own burdens. It's like, wow, I didn't realize how heavy that was. I'm not going to poo-poo this anymore. And then we start to look at our dreams that get all tumbled and tied in with what everybody else wants from us. And we start to let those dreams shine forward. And instead of saying, I have to carry this all right now, I have to have all my dreams come forward right now, we can put things down as we we hike to our home and say, I'm bringing this dream slowly into my existence. It doesn't have to be all at once, but this dream gets to be what lights and warms me, what lights my world, what gives me the ideas and the inspiration, the sun, the happiness. Well, it starts to change things. It starts to have us looking at things in a more open, more honest, more creative way. The Chariot here, as much as there is, and Spirit made it quite clear when the cards were put down, that there can be a battle around a Cancer and around a Taurus, or one or the other. But there's also a sense of the subconscious and the conscious self of ourselves having a bit of a battle. It's like consciously we need to do this. It can be we're upholding our responsibilities. We want to come out looking really, really good. The subconscious self is saying, I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm tired of these games. I want XYZ. I want to move forward in my power, in my understanding, in what I desire. And we can feel ourselves, like we can feel the Chariot, which is supposed to be going in one smooth direction, being pulled in two very separate directions. And it can make us feel very chaotic, very overwhelmed, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this the right way. And the thing is that we need to kind of embrace the healing, the soul's healing, the meditative contemplation of what we are imagining, what we desire, because what we think is coming forward, whether we realize it or not, whether we are jubilant or whether we are super frustrated, that's coming out, it's bleeding out into our day-to-day lives, but it's also coloring our heart, okay? It's making us feel stressed and overwhelmed. It's making us doubt the way that we want to move forward, where it is that we want to be. The chaos comes. And the Chariot is saying that to rule our hearts, to look at the chaos and the harmony of human nature, that takes a lot of time and that takes a lot of effort. Only the very best of the best drove a chariot, and we tend to forget that. It's like only the best of the best can rule their hearts well, can understand their emotions. And even when we understand our emotions and we're checking in and we're looking at things and we're kind of weeding out the problems, we're getting to the roots of things, life will sometimes just blindside us and be like, oh, well, you forgot this. You forgot this hurt, this pain that we've been through. And we see that coming through in the cards during this time. The Tower comes. This is when our life has been turned upside down. This is when our life has been shaken. Now, whether it's through something we've done ourselves or life just took over and it felt like we were trying to stop a tidal wave, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that we are affected quite intensely and quite powerfully. The Tower is when divinity says, you're not getting out of your comfort zone. You're not, like, even if where you are is horrific, okay? It is hard, it is intense. People that we're with, they treat us like garbage, but it's what we know. And it's kind of like, I can't risk falling any further. That's one way that a Tower time comes. It's like, I'm too scared, I'm too overwhelmed, I'm too tired. You know, I can fall asleep standing up if I wanted to. I could fall asleep in the shower if I wanted to. You know, I'm just so exhausted right now. And then we have the other sense of the Tower time, being when we're going about our business. And then all of a sudden the world changes on us. And we're looking at it, just kind of slack-jawed. And be like, wait. Things were supposed to change. Like, we were supposed to be able to move forward in a really beautiful way. And then the rug just gets pulled out from under us. Either way, divinity takes us from where we're comfortable, or at least where we're resigned, and throws a curveball and throws us out and says, you can't do this. Why? Because if divinity didn't do this, we'd stay where we were. We would stay status quo, keep it steady, you know, don't rock the boat type of thing. Divinity rocks the boat for us. And it leads us to the hierophant. Now, the hierophant is a person not to be trifled with. So you can say, okay, Taurus energy, not a person to be messed with. That can very well be the case. But it is also a sense here that somebody who is very connected with the practical, okay, who sees kind of like responsibilities and things that need to be done as the main pillars of the world. The hierophant is also the person who can tell kings, queens, emperors, empresses what to do. Because the hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the Pope. And the Pope was this all-knowing, all-seeing power. And this is the all-knowing, all-seeing power of the individual. This is when we know ourselves really well, even when we don't want to admit we do. When we see the patterns within ourselves, when we understand things. This is us starting to say, well, this is my truth. And it doesn't mean that, oh, this is my truth, everybody has to listen to me. It's like, I see the pattern of my personality. I see how I always get snared by XYZ. I see how I long for, freedom and independence and a voice of my own, and to be creative and intuitive and just let life be. I long not to be trapped. There's also a real sense of that longing of freedom. And we start to embrace this because we start to look at, with the repeat of the number 2, the ways that we create, the ways that we come together, the creative aspect of ourselves, and we say, but this is my truth. Like, this is where my destiny lies. And I see it. But I've been so afraid of it because I've seen the world fall apart, and I've let myself fall. Because we can sometimes think, especially when we go through a really intense tower time, it's like, if I just was stronger, if I just had more faith in myself or had started earlier, I wouldn't have been caught off guard. If I had planned better, it's like, listen, divinity wasn't going to let you stay where you were anyway. There is no way that you can combat something that is all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful. And now because of this, we're taking the conscious side of us and the subconscious side. We're taking the side that we want the world to see and the side that we don't. And we're learning how to handle things emotionally so much better. And we're looking at what's truly innately important to us. The 3 of Cups, well, these are the people that could have come to our rescue. They really could have. They could have saved us from falling. Now, it's not saying that at times people don't come to our rescue as readily because we need to fall. They've rescued us enough. That can very well be a case here for some. But there is also a sense, very much so, of, with the 3 of Cups, for me, these are always the people who should have been in our corner, should have been on our side, should have been able to help us, but they couldn't. They just couldn't. They didn't care about us the way that we hoped they would, the way that we cared about them. The 3 of Cups, for me, are the people who just can't celebrate. They just can't. It's the father who's supposed to protect you, but never could. It's the mother who's supposed to love you unconditionally and never could. It's the sibling who's supposed to be on your side and just wasn't. It's the lover who was supposed to care for you and protect you and couldn't do that. It's the friend that walked away. The 3 of Cups is devastation. And it's devastation that we don't always see coming. Or we think, I could have just been better. Because the devastation usually comes when we're young. And we see that pattern repeated over and over and over again till we finally acknowledge it emotionally and say, oh, I'm attracting people just like my father, just like my mother. I'm attracting people who can't be there. And the 3 of Cups makes us look at that with honesty and with almost a brutality to ourselves. And it's like brutally honest information is coming forward. And we look at those people who failed us. And we realize they couldn't do any better. That's who they were. And that may still be who they are. There's also a sense here they might want back. They might want to come back in. They might see how well you're doing, or they're lonely themselves and they're like, oh, well, I can come back. No, you don't. Life isn't like that. It's not a revolving door that you get to say, oh, when things are easier, I get to come in. And when, I'm having a hard time, or when things are easy, I get to walk away. When I'm having a hard time, I get to walk in because you have to help me. So just be very mindful of that. The heart is going through a lot right now, and we have to be kind to the heart, to our emotional state. That's why the healing is coming in. We then have the Page of Wands. It's being a student of our passion in the public arena. We're emotionally vulnerable. Inwardly, we're really starting to see our path and our desire and our way forward. Why? Because we're having to face things that emotionally we'd rather not face. And so here, when we're becoming a student of our passion, what we desire, the way forward, we're seeing things differently because our hearts are different during this time. They're a little bit more cynical. They're a little bit more, one might say, realistic. And we start to see what it is that we desire and why it is that we haven't gone after things and where it is that we want to be and the creativity that's building inside of us that we're stifling down. And we bring it to the forefront. Temperance, right? Yes, it connects us with Sagittarius energy, but it also says here, bring into balance what is needed. So by being a student of our passion, of what we desire, of the joy that gets us out of bed in the morning, we start to see the balance that comes in. We start to see harmony stepping forward. We start to see the balancing of the subconscious and the conscious. What we desire is what we desire, what we want, where we want to be, how we want to move forward, what we're looking for. The temperance tempers us. And we're being tempered in the public arena. Why? Because there's something grander out there. And also there's a change that's coming that we're not going to see all at once. The change is divinity saying, ready or not, here it comes. And it's so interesting because we have the sun shine down on us. We have this happiness come into our inner selves, and we can feel very contented for a few days there, or just there's like this point of harmony that we can go to. And yet it leads us to the tower. It leads us to where everything fell down, when everything fell apart, or the parts of our lives that made us a bit vulnerable. It's like we watched our parents get divorced. We had to leave school. We had a huge loss in our family or in our friends. Just something here that really shattered our foundation, usually, again, when we're very small. And now, because we're acknowledging it, because we're seeing the power of ourselves, we're moving forward. Divinity is once again saying, ready or not, here it comes. But this is a change that isn't as major at all. And it's a change that starts to guide us on the right path, to guide us to where we want to be, to have us look at things quite differently. And it leads us to the high priestess. And the high priestess has the veil lifted from her eyes. The high priestess, well, actually, she lifts the veil from our eyes. She connects us to our spiritual world. She connects us with our own psychic abilities, with our own sense of intuition and self and what we desire. And what she's doing here, she's opening up the door. And she's saying, look. And we wouldn't be able to see clearly if we hadn't walked through the darkest hours. And so the mask is lifted from those around us, from the people we thought we could trust, but we couldn't. The mask is lifted from the liars, the cheats, the thieves. And again, we're seeing them for who they are, just like we're seeing the weight that we carry coming from a lot of the scars that we have. That sense of, if I'm just good enough, everything will be okay. Or if I just do things perfectly, everything will be okay. Or, if I never complain, everything will be okay. For some people, it will never be okay. They will always demand more and more and more. And the high priestess shows us in the public arena. And the high priestess in the public arena also says, do not be a fool. Do not be taken advantage of. Do not be, do not be abused and used. The high priestess shows us the mask of everybody else. But she also shows us the mask of ourselves. The face that we're hiding behind. The world that we're afraid to step into. The world that we're afraid to create within ourselves. The magic that we refuse to embrace and become a part of. And so here, a lot is brought to the table inwardly. And it can also be that the happiness shines in, and we want the love and the unity. We're tired of the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointment. And because we want the love and the unity, things start to change. We start to put down the burdens. We say, I cannot be carrying all of this, and let myself be loved, and let myself embrace joy, and let happiness and beauty come in. And so we look at the tower time. We look at the chaos. We look at the people who have disappointed us, and we start to find our passion again. We start to find our fire, which connects us to other people. And it brings us into balance, and it moves us in a direction we didn't know that we even wanted to go. And it starts to bring us to so much more than we ever realized, to so much more truth and power and beauty than we ever could have imagined. Let's see what the spirit animal message is. Virgo, April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. April 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Fantastic. We have the canary spirit. Sing your own song. Let your song, let your beauty be your guide in this world. The canary also lets us know when things are going wrong, like the canary in the mine, right? So it will sing our song until things go wrong. And then we'll be like, okay, what do I need to look at here? What happened? What changed? Our subconscious spirit animal message is the wombat spirit. Be at home. Be at home with yourself. Be at home in your home. Be at home in your world, in the world, in what you desire, in your own soul and being. Be at home. The subconscious spirit message is earth. It's time to connect with the earth, to creation, but also you're an earth sign energy. So it's connecting with the energy that is so important to you. It's that grounding, it's that stabilizing. The subconscious person message is the high priest. Once again, Taurus is coming through. This is saying, take your power, take what you desire, look at it openly and honestly. There's stubbornness here, but let that stubbornness shine. Let it be a part of you, and let it be a valuable part. This is looking at the essence of what is wanted and what is needed. And when Spirit says that, the essence of what is wanted and needed, it's like, what do I need? What do I want that aligns me with my path, with what I desire, with who I am? If I go against this, I lose a bit of myself. And it's time to know that. It brings us to our subconscious chakra message, which is personal power. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is embracing our personal power, our determination, our insight, our ideas. We're starting to claim that power, hold that power, and not let it falter within us. We're going to see ourselves becoming stronger than what we imagined. The subconscious tarot message is the Eight of Pentacles. The hard work is paying off. Our hard work, our dedication, our determination, that is paying off. And it's like, finally this beauty gets to be a part of my life. Or finally, all the sacrificing has a meaning. That's it. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as so much hurt and pain is addressed and released during this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.